What's up, guys? This is Mint from DarkZero, and today I'm going to be going over a question that we get a lot as pro players, which is our warm-up routine, how we warm up, how we prepare for our matches and our games. I personally use AIMLAB, and the main reason that I use AIMLAB is just how easy it is to use. You're literally able to input your sensitivity from Rainbow Six and your aspect ratio and all that, and it feels just like you're playing the game, so it makes aim training extremely easy. Also, just how innovative and how many activities they actually have to improve on different aspects of your aiming. Maybe you want to improve your flicking, maybe it's your tracing, crosshair placement, or even cognitive. They have so many different exercises and game modes that you can do and improve different aspects of your game.
It's going to be hyper down, so Mint in a 1 versus 2, excuse me. Still using the secondary pistol. What a shot, and he can get up hyper now to make this a 2 versus 1. Still has plenty of time, can work those yokais, and that's immediately what hyper's going to jump on. He can rotate this and try and find something. Mint with 2! Oh my god!
There's a player behind that bar, but he doesn't know it. Mint doesn't know. There's so little information for both teams, and he might find the second. Yes, he will. Bolo doesn't get off cams. He's looking for a third, and he'll get it as he falls back to sight. Mint with a massive round. And he will. He gets it. So the plant goes down. Mint gets his triple kill, and he times the peak perfectly. As Super eliminated, Mint with the quad kill, and DZ will take the round.
So in AIMLAB, there's a plethora of options that you can use to improve your aim. For me, early on, I identified flicking as a weakness. So that's kind of why I came up with this warm-up routine. But it is a little bit trial and error, and you can just figure out what works best for you. It's all personal preference. The first drill I do is called Gridshot. And for anyone who doesn't know what Gridshot is, basically 3 orbs are spawned on the screen, and every time you click them, another one will spawn. So it's always 3, and it's for a minute, moves pretty quickly. I, however, try to, for my first 3 reps of doing this, try to just focus on accuracy and then slowly get faster and faster and faster. And I don't know the science behind everything. However, because I'm an arm aimer, I find that I'm constantly moving my arm all around, and it's kind of warming me up for the first 3 reps. You're also focusing on not over flicking or under flicking, and if so, this could be a sensitivity issue, as well as it could just be you're not warmed up. I then move into Sixshot, which is very similar to Gridshot. However, instead of them being decently sized orbs, they're very tiny. For the first drill, I'm using my arm. Now I'm using my wrist, so I'm kind of activating all the muscles in my arm and kind of getting myself like ready to play. Whereas if I was to just use T-Hunt, you know, maybe you're not using your wrist as much because you're mainly you're an arm aimer, or the other way around, maybe you're just a wrist aimer, so you're always using your wrist. Now that I'm using these drills, I'm not only sometimes using my wrist, sometimes using my arm, I'm solely focusing on using my arm. And now with Sixshot, I'm solely focusing on using my wrist, and I'm now starting to feel more warmed up. After I'm done with Sixshot for 3 reps, I'll then go back into Gridshot for 3 reps. And the main reason is now I actually feel warmed up, and now I'm going for score. So now I'm going to try to go a lot faster instead of just focus on accuracy. And usually what I've been finding is my score usually goes up anywhere around on average like 5,000. I like to just basically use the score as like, am I getting better at aiming kind of thing? Do I feel like I'm improving? But the most important part is, do I feel warmed up? And after another 3 reps of Gridshot, the answer is yes, I'm usually pretty ready and feel warmed up. So after those 3 reps of Gridshot, I will move into a new one that just came out a couple days ago, a week ago, whatever it is, but WallPeek. Again, it's new, but I find it to be really useful, again, for flicking. You're basically going to be behind a wall, and when you move out of the wall to the left, there'll be an enemy. So you want to flick onto it as quick as possible, and then you'll move to the right and flick onto it as quick as possible again, and you just keep going back and forth for about a minute. So it's another thing working on flicking. This one's a little bit more fun to me because you actually get to see enemies. And if you actually use the expert mode, they shoot back and they get to move. So it just makes it a little bit more challenging than Gridshot. And right now, I really like it, and I think it's going to be added to my routine. And the last drill that I like to use, it's under cognitive. I believe it's called decision making. This one is optional. I only do it once in a while. But basically, there's going to be orbs. There'll be like 7 of them. They'll all be a certain color you have to memorize, and then they'll all go away, and then they'll come back, and one of them will be a different color. And you kind of have to try to memorize them and try to figure out which one changed color. If you get it correct, it gets harder. Now there'll be 8 and then 9 and so on. It's optional, but for me, it's just kind of like waking up my eyes a little bit, get my brain thinking. So ever since I added this warm-up routine, I honestly just feel more consistent as a player. I feel actually warmed up compared to just using T-Hunt and then going into a scrim or a match. I feel like I'm not letting my team down. I feel like I'm actually as ready as I can be and as good as I can be. Early in my career, I was more of a body shot player and I didn't really care about headshots, and I feel like I've been hitting headshots a lot more. I'm definitely more confident to take gunfights compared to days where I don't AIMLAB or I don't use a warm-up routine in general. And that's it, guys. That's my warm-up routine. That's the guide. If you guys aren't already subscribed to the DarkZero channel, please subscribe. And a huge shout out to AIMLAB. I'll leave their link in the description, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.